I've said it before and I'll say it again. Men aren't women and women aren't men. We have this article coming to us from dailymail.com. NHS nurse, 35, killed herself after the stress of working 12-hour hospital shifts stopped her from settling down to have a family. Inquest hears. This is, I think it's Leona Goddard. Yeah, Leona Goddard, right here. Very attractive young lady in these pictures. Quote, in these pictures, who fell into that feminist mindset that, oh yeah, girl, you can have it all, you know? And unfortunately, you can't. See, for us to live, traditionally fulfilling lives, which basically is wife, kids, or, family kids, spouse kids, if you have a vagina, um, men and women, we have to go about it differently. Like, I mean, from completely different angles. Men, while you are young, you take some time, you establish yourself, you get your career going, and you put yourself in a position to whereas you can afford a family. Ladies, while you are young and those eggs are still fresh and popping, you get yourself in a position to be with a man who can afford a family. And then after the kids are out and everything else like that, you feel free to go have your career and establish, yourself. But ultimately, the whole family thing is what life is about, because we got to maintain and keep families and legacies going for the species. Bloodlines matter. Um, but unfortunately, Miss Goodard here fell into that trap of, I'm going to start my career while I'm young, and that career turned around to be her undoing. Let's get into this. Nurse Leona Goddard, 35, hung herself at family home in Greater Manchester. She worked at a mental health unit at Prestwich Hospital and was recently promoted. Ms. Goddard had seen GP before death and said she had nightmares about work. That's just a confidential number for all you guys in the UK. The NHS is the National Health Service, which is, I guess, their form of Medicare, Medicaid, which is currently actually buckling under the weight of the UK's immigration policies. So, best of luck with that, you limeys. But here she is right here. She actually looks really good in this picture. She's rather gorgeous, but she about to hit that wall. Look at those arms. She's about to hit that wall hard. We can skip past a lot of this. That's why I don't like reading Daily Mail articles, because they're all it's a lot of repeating itself. Miss Goddard was found hung at her family home by mother Corinne Goodridge on October 3rd, 2018, just 6 months after she got a promotion. A handwritten note across 2 pages of A4 paper detailed her negative feelings, a downward spiral, and feelings of self-loathing. The inquest was told Ms. Goddard had wanted to work as an occupational therapist, but studied nursing and psychology and graduated at Manchester University in 2012. So she was a mental health professional. That's another reason I really wanted to highlight this story, because she's a mental health professional that became overwhelmed. It is really sad. A college friend, Danielle Hines, said although she finished the course, she never actually enjoyed the role. She felt trapped by qualifications and experience. Leona struggled with shifts she was given and found it difficult to maintain a social life around them. Yeah, once again, another picture where she looking rather fun. All right. Not so much in this one. She was saving money for a house deposit, and she was looking for a home she wanted to live in, but didn't find anything. And it was difficult for her to carry out her search because of shifts she was assigned to. But is house hunting and social life really like the same thing? I feel like there's a little bit of conjecture going on here. Over the years, we had conversations, and when she felt at her worst, she would make flippant jokes about pills and wine being her way out. Yet she chose the rope. It's crazy. A doctor's report was read to the hearing, which said that Ms. Goddard had been to see her GP in the weeks leading up to her death. She said she felt unsupported and had nightmares about work and was offered antidepressants, but she refused, saying if work got sorted out, she would feel better. Clearly not. Clearly not at all. And this is really where these lies, I feel like this is her nature as a woman versus the conditioning, a societal conditioning that for the past 30, 40 years, way before she was even born, has been telling women, oh no, girl, you can compete with the boys, you can do as the boys, you got to be strong, you got to be independent, and all these other things. And this is what it led up to. Miss Goodard's ex-boyfriend, Pete Schaefer, oh my God, I feel terrible for you, who ended their relationship a week before her death, also spoke at the inquest. I don't know if he does or doesn't, but if I were in his position, I would feel just tremendous amounts of guilt. I mean, seriously. He said Leona had a wish to have children one day and start a family of her own, and no doubt she would have been a great mother. I don't think they're going to go into why I'm pretty sure they're not going into why he broke up with her, but he probably broke up with her because she didn't have the type of time that'd be necessary. Like, for a relationship to work, somebody going to have some free time, okay? Somebody's going to have some free time. And optimally, it would be the woman, who would have the free time to be able to, to be able to adjust her schedule around the man. But that's just not the society we live in anymore. But when she was working for the NHS, there was changing shift patterns, and she felt frustration at the unpredictability of shifts. A new position was offered to give her new skills and responsibilities. She did want to stay in mental health in the NHS, but in a capacity that would give her more of a social life. I mean, she needed Pete because you just broke up with her. Not to be a jerk, but I mean, you broke. Yeah, she gonna need that social life so she can so she can go out and party and do her thing. The only reason she stayed in the job that was not healthy for her was a light at the end of the tunnel. There were many difficulties when she started in the new position, and she was left increasing amounts of responsibility, workload, absence of training, and not long after she was signed off work. We had conversations to try and help her to find other opportunities, but over the weeks, communications was deteriorating, and I ended the relationship. Ooh, this is really not a good picture. Sweetie, calm down, the smile a little too hard. Because, all the other features is popping, but, them teeth is rough. And plus, like I said, she looked like she about to go face first into the wall, man. Pete, you should have just been cream pie, man. You should just blowing loads up in her. Because if she popped up pregnant, then, they would have absolutely no choice but to give her some time off. So, I mean, Pete was like, big time. Pete was like, yeah, this is just not the place to plant the seed. Not dick policing, just saying. She was upset, and my intention was to give her space and then have a conversation about it. But tragically, she took her own life a week later, and that never materialized. That's sad. It really is. But the main reason I'm doing this video though is because this is a big part of the reason why the mental health thing has blown up in the way that it has, because you got all these people who are conditioned to go against their human nature, and it makes people crazy. I don't want to call a young lady crazy, but it can play a role in somebody's psychological makeup, because they're sitting there like their biology, their human nature is screaming at them one thing, but the reality that they created for themselves is telling them something completely different. So, God bless the dead, man. Rest in peace, Miss Goodard. Hope you, I don't think you get to go to heaven via suicide, but maybe they made an exception. All right? You were sold a bunch of lies. You really were. And so it's jacked up that this is, that you felt like you had no other way out. But once again, this shows what's the name? How the nature versus nurture conflict, when you sit there and put them directly at odds, it can't end well. It can't end well. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead and do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like are the biggest fan of your boy over here. Ring the bell, because if they ain't sharing and caring with y'all, they definitely not hitting you off with those notifications, letting you know when a new hot one done dropped. So definitely ring that bell when you press this up and speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? This is a tragedy as far as I'm concerned, but it's an avoidable tragedy if we stop with this nonsense about men and women being completely equal, and she could play with the boys, and go ahead, girl, you strong, independent, don't need no man. Well, apparently if a man left this chick a week later, she hanging herself. Nurture and nature, right? But let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next one.